Thank you. Are they ready? Okay, they're all signed in, everything like that. Thank you. Which column is their name on? Column 3. Alright. Anything else I should know before I start, or... Okay, so they're good. I'd obviously ask you, but obviously this is the job, kind of, so don't take it personal. Great. Alright, thank you. Go ahead and sit down. Column 3. 1, 2, 3. There you are, I believe. Okay. Welcome. And today, obviously I don't know how to give a good intro to things like this. I'm the tattoo artist, if you will, so it's kind of like you just come in and I will start, but we're trying a new thing. I'm just trying to be a little bit more personal and make it a little bit more relaxing and comfortable. A lot of microbladers and spas that offer this process tend to be a little bit not too formal, because that would be what I'm being like, I think. Regardless, I just want you to know that this is not a painful experience. I want you to enjoy yourself. I want you to sit back, relax, close your eyes. Everything we do here is professional. Our process is a little bit different, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. It's nothing that's not clean or sanitary. We take precautions with everything. The only thing that we don't do in regards to microblading is I do not wear gloves in fear of potentially putting a line somewhere that shouldn't be there or anything. We want everything to be precise and intact. So since you're signed in and this is your chart apparently, I'm going to ask you a few questions so we can get ready and just get started. We have a lot to do today. I need you to look through 2 magazines to confirm, I'm assuming, what you already brought in, correct? Okay, so we'll just look at some eyebrow shapes on some men and women and go from there. But first off, what color were you looking for today? It says here that you want the E362. That's in a light shade. You want a more medium shade, okay. Now, do you mind if I touch you? Alright, I'm just going to gently just check out your brows here. Okay. What I recommend is definitely a medium shade, actually, so you're definitely right on that. It's just, there's shades in between shades in between shades. The color spectrum is just forever almost, it feels like. So I was thinking maybe instead of an E362, maybe an E365. Would that work? It's literally like, you know what, I'll just bring it out. I'll bring out the ink. You tell me from just looking at it, you'll be able to know. So we'll put that down for now with E362 as a rebound. Okay. Alright, and you're looking for more. I'm just looking at your eyes to see your natural face shape. Do you know offhand what your face shape is? Is it a round? Is it heart? Is it square? Okay, that's what I thought. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, your face is very symmetrical. It's really rare nowadays to have a symmetrical face. Let's see, I think it's in between 45 and 55 degrees in regards to the triangle, that you know that you have a true perfect face. But then again, we're all just human and a bunch of idiots, so I would not take that seriously. Please, please don't take that seriously. Okay. So, and by the way, my name is Karuna. So nice to meet you. I didn't even shake your hand there, I just reached out and pretended. Okay. Alright, pretty symmetrical face. Just got okay, I think we're ready to start. So, real quick, I'm just going to explain the process to you in about a minute or so after I'm done talking, I'm going to bring out two magazines that you're going to laugh at because they're not your typical beauty magazines. They're actually Star Trek and James Bond. And the reason for that, in case you haven't gotten the hint in regards to old magazines, is, well, back when, you'd believe it or not, with all the like lead in beauty products and what was it? It was like a mean green type of chemical that they put in mascara that, or I'm sorry, concealer, that whenever was patted on your face would turn your face green from radiation. No kidding. But believe it or not, their eyebrows were always perfect and symmetrical. You watch in Star Trek and James Bond, the Bond girls back in like the 50s and, well, 70s and so on, their brows are perfect. They went with those Bond girls in those movies and they completely, the girls are perfect, more or less. I mean, there's no such thing as perfect, but there's something close to it, and it would be the Bond girls and the brows of the Star Trek girls. So we're going to take a look at that. But what the males offer as well, because obviously, is their brows are natural, but they would still trim them. So microblading on a man is not as hard as microblading on a woman. So no worries, whatever you prefer. So after we pick or confirm the shape you're looking for, you already have a sketch in the book. It does not have to be from the magazines. I'm going to be taking a few tools. First, I'm going to be dropping things, but I'm going to be trimming your brows. This isn't actually what I'm using to trim your brows. This is actually what I'm going to be using to measure, because this matches about right here to everybody's face, like this, but I'm going to show you what I mean. So first I'm just going to shape up your brows real quick. Don't even worry if I shave them all off, I'll still be able to get a good natural look on you, because your face literally can be mapped out through mathematics. Yes, believe it or not. So I have a shaver, a trimmer, and then to know the length of the hairs, which you will always, I will give this to you to take home, and just go to the dollar store or something. These trimmers all fit the same. Whatever, take this trimmer and literally we're going to use 2 mm or 4 mm depending on the length you want. Your brows seem very natural and grown in, which I'm very grateful. You definitely listened to the instructions, so that's good. I'm then going to mark a whole bunch of stuff on your face. You're just going to feel me touching your face 1,000 times with these scissors, and that's because I'm mapping a literal, we're going to start here from the nose, tip of the nose, from the sides of the bridge of your nose up to the edges of your brows, to like 45 degrees up, 90 degrees straight, 90 degrees to mark the front of your brows, and then so on and so forth. And then it's going to literally map where the brow starts, where the brow, or how high up the brow is, corner of the brow, brow, you get it. So let's go through these magazines. Oh, and after, I'm going to prep you for your microblading. Now the microblading part's actually the easiest. It takes the shortest time. Brows are very short. Getting a tattoo, I have tattoos, very tiny ones. This took about 5 minutes. Yours will take about 5 minutes with both, so you'll definitely be fine. To microblade, like I said, we don't use gloves. I cannot mess up with you. They have a lot of people laid down for microblading. I'm going to have you sitting right where you are in the chair. Obviously, that has been provided for you. That can either recline or whatever. We're going to keep you where you are. And I just have these. Usually, tattoo artists will use like tissue or paper towel to wipe off the ink. No, we use cosmetic sponges because it absorbs ink immediately. Sometimes you want the ink to, on a real tattoo, to stay in for a few seconds while the artist is tattooing. No, microblading is a semi-permanent tattoo, if you will. It'll last you a good 6 months, but after that you're going to have to come in for touch-ups for sure. There's no way to get, I would never recommend getting a permanent tattoo in regards to your face, but to each their own. I have it from my neck down, so I'm going to be using this to wipe off. Now, my tattoo gun, is literally amazing. It's great quality. But I'm just going to be turning it on and dipping the ends of this in ink, and then I'm just going to be microblading. And I'm sorry I'm laughing. It's just, I don't know. Alright, so let's get through those magazines. It's a very relaxing experience overall to have microblading done. I think brows are a great way to obviously accentuate the face. People forgot about brows in the 90s to 2010 to 2015 actually. It was only up in the past maybe 2 years, 3 years that brows have finally made a comeback, and they really accentuate the face. Now myself, I cannot do my eyebrows for anything in the world, but that's alright. So let's get prepared. Okay. So the first magazine we're going to be going through does not have, oh, I completely apologize. I confused Star Trek for Star Wars, and that is exactly why I would never be a video game nerd, which has nothing to do with movies. I'm really just not getting my, it doesn't matter, we're here for brows. This is Star Wars. Okay, but it was still made in the same era. The brows on those women, but I still believe the Star Trek girls were better. I can tell you about Star Trek, but not really about Star Wars. So let's take a look. First things first. Perfect example on the first page. Her brows right here. Very natural, very just natural shaped. You might not be able to see it. You see how it doesn't arch real well. Like if you look at my brows, this never looks filled in because my skin's real pale. If you get real close, you can see. Trust me, I'm not missing it. It just looks unfilled in because the brow pencil I use is terrible. Never use drugstore brow pencils. Just use Anastasia Beverly Hills and we'll all be good. So anyway, see how mine are kind of dramatically arched? Hers are very natural, and I noticed you're looking for a natural look, so that's definitely something to consider. So I will bend that page. Okay, let's take examples. Okay, in a man's example, John Boyega, and I forget his name in the actual Star Trek movie. His brows are definitely trimmed around, but overall he has a very natural look as well. So, not a very flattering face, but it's okay. I like how his arch naturally as well. You'll definitely notice that. All right. My favorite person in the whole world. At least I know that he starred in this movie. The most recent is my beauty, Adam Driver. Came from Girls, ended up in Star Trek. That's an insult. Star Wars. He's my husband in real life. I'm actually married, but he's my second husband. If I were to cheat, my husband knows it would be with him, and my husband feels the same way about him, so we'd probably end up cheating on each other with Adam Driver. So, but anyway, obviously I'm gonna compliment him. I'm really not that starstruck, but his brows are very arched. They always keep men's brows natural, so I mean, like I said, it would be very easy to definitely just choose the way you're shaped. But yeah, Adam Driver's perfect, his brows are perfect, his face is perfect, his voice is probably the best feature. That is one thing I notice about people when I first meet them, is their voices. So we'll go through 1 or 2 more pages. Let me just... I do apologize for calling Star Wars Star Trek. You have to forgive my ignorance, as I am what's known as a basic white bitch, so. 1 second. Perfect. A couple right here. Rupert Evans as Frank Frank and Alexa DeVelos as his girlfriend Juliana Crane. I'm not sure what movies these are from. I don't care. We're here for the brows. Hers are a very natural shape. And if you notice, I'm going to be measuring your brow, like I said, from the triangle. Her brow should be going down here. But as you can tell, it doesn't always have to be that way. When you're looking directly straight, which I'm going to have you do, they usually also cut brows off at the start of the iris, so right here. So we'll see what looks best for you. All right, and let's check the Bond Girls. The world's most famous spy. My favorite Bond movie would have to be the second made Casino Royale. See, I could tell you all about Bond, but I can't tell you about Star Wars. But anyway, yes, Daniel Craig, because I'm a new age freak and I really don't like older movies. Now, the people in those movies, brilliant. Even though it's hilarious acting, it's brilliant overall. If you think back in those days, that acting, no wonder those movies were in their prime to that day and still to this day. They're still timeless. But Casino Royale, not the originally made one that wasn't, it wasn't even, I don't think it was played in theaters, but anyway, the 2009 version, I believe. Daniel Craig, Adam Driver, Daniel Craig. But I know Daniel Craig's only like 5 foot tall, so I mean, Christ. Alright. Let's go through these. Judi Dench. Perfect. Her eyebrows are a little bit thin, and this is new age. We are not talking old 50s anymore. I like her brows as, whenever you look at her face, what do you see? Do you see her brows? You do, but what else do you see? You also see her eyes and her nose and her lips. Whenever you look at me, what do you see? Ugly. But you also see that everything kind of measures up into, like, there's a lot of triangles, squares, and hearts on your face, believe it or not. Mathematics can describe the body to a T. So what we need to do, we have this style of, I can either look at you, and if you want people to notice you for your eyes, nose, mouth, then we would do brows like hers, which are very natural yet very small. So what are you thinking? Yeah, we could do it like that. Okay. Her, absolutely gorgeous. Her brows are doing the same thing, and I think maybe that was the style back then, because if you see, her eye ends there, but with her nose, her brow should go all the way down here, but it stops at the pupil or the iris. So I think we're gonna do something like that today. If you're into that, trust me, it's very filling. I will definitely fulfill your brows. Perfect. This is not Natalie Portman, but her brows often resemble Natalie Portman's. Very straight away, go up, arch very, very shortly at the top, and go straight down. So here is a perfect example of back when until now. See, brows do end up staying. Makeup always is classy and timeless, depending on how you do it. Not mine, but other people's. Caroline Munro. Now her brows look like the daily, what we see today. Very long. Hers definitely go out from the corner of her eye all the way out to the edge. So, amazing. I love it. But yeah, so what were you thinking out of all those books? Really? Okay, hold on 1 second. Which page was that? No shit. Was it Roger Moore who just died? I believe it was. Rest in peace. Okay, so you were thinking something like that. Maybe, hold on a minute. From the Star Wars magazine. Okay. Yeah, they're both very similar, male and female, and that's amazing. I love that. You mix the best of both worlds, or whatever genders there are, but unfortunately they are, since those are older magazines, that please don't be offended. Okay, so I definitely have an idea of what I'm doing now, so how about we begin? I'm going to start prepping, and first things first, we're going to immediately begin with plucking the hairs around your natural brow, and then I'm going to trim just around the same place I plucked with this. Excuse me, and then we're going to pick probably 4 mm. 4 mm is longer, it's millimeter. I personally have 2 mm, but then again, you couldn't tell my real brows from my fake brows because I use so much makeup, so I suggest 4 mm if you're looking for the older natural look. Very longer brows, easy to apply with a pencil. I noticed since mine are 2 mm, they're shorter, and you can tell mistakes like this right here. So, okay, absolutely, then that's perfect, and I will send you home with this, so no worries. So let's get started. I don't need any measurements for this. This is obviously just prep. You know what? Speaking of prep, I definitely have to spray down your brow. And this stuff right here is Liz Earle Instant Boost Skin Tonic Spritzer. All it does is it clears away any impurities you have on your face. So I'm just going to spray the area, and then whenever I begin microblading, I'm going to wrap around the face with a towel, a very hot towel, I might add. So, okay, let me just. Okay. Okay, perfect. That's it. That's all I had to do. No wiping, no nothing. Okay. Microblading is a very easy process. Very easy process. This might pinch a little, but the microblading, you can't even feel it. Too bad I'm not recording this. You should take a drink every time I said the word brow today. I apologize. You did come at a very, very late at night time. In my head, it might be 5:30 a.m. So, but what made you get microblading? Like, what made you come here today to get a process like this? Really? A lot of people do it because they don't have time. Other people do it because they just they're not very good at makeup. Okay. The only reason I haven't done it yet is because I'm poor and they don't pay me enough here, so. I'm kidding. Not really, but I have to say that as a disclaimer. Okay. So now I'm just going to go over where I just plucked, alright? I'm going to be turning on the light. It might be a little loud, but nothing you can't handle. And 4 mm, just pop it right on. Anything you buy at the dollar store will work. All you have to do is just hold the brow and go over, hold the brow and go over. You don't have to go back and forth, don't do that. Okay. starting with your right brow. Okay, so I will set this here with you. Okay, so here comes the very, what's the word I'm looking for? Intricate part, if you will. I'm going to be using a few tools. This is the shaver in which I'm going to do after I microblade. I'm just going to make sure any leftover hairs on the brow after I'm done blading, just to make it look perfect, flawless, etc., 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 etc. Okay, this is a Kylie brush. Got it from a Kylie lip kit, I don't know, or a brow kit. And what I'm gonna do, you get it. And what I'm gonna do after I mark with, all right, the scissors I showed you earlier, I'm gonna use to mark your natural brow. Here with a black line, here with a two black dots here to measure your height and length, one line here to measure the arch, one line here, but necessarily, since we're doing the natural look, one line probably looking directly at you, probably right here. And then we'll keep this down here. If you have any leftover hairs, I'll get rid of it. It doesn't look like you do, probably why you went for this look. And then what I'm gonna use this for is just smooth it out. So we're gonna actually create a fake outline of a brow before we start the blading. So, okay. And then right before we're blading, I'm going to get my ink ready, my gun ready, that thing, and the towel ready. And what I'm gonna do, like I said, is a hot towel complimentary of the spa. Wrap it around your head. It'll keep your face nice and warm as take your mind off the blading. So, okay, so this is a waterproof black eyeliner pencil, nothing out of the ordinary. Some people use Sharpie, which I would never suggest as you're leaving after getting a tattoo. What are you going to use to rub that off? You don't want to rub over a freshly new tattoo unless it's directly after you're done to clean it. And I promise you, even with the permanent ink that tattoo artists use, if you use a Sharpie as an outline, you'd think that it would come out. It probably will just end up in your skin forever, which will cause bleeding, not actual blood, like bleeding of the tattoo, which is spreading. And that's another reason microblading is not a permanent thing. It's semi-permanent because the ink can bleed on your face, meaning you get a tattoo that looks like this, let's hope not. It could spread, so then the tattoo would look double the size and things like that, depending on the person if they take care of it or not. So, okay, so I'm just going to start from your nose, and I need you to look directly at me. This is the part where I need you to sit still, relax, but stay as still as you can and just let me measure your face, okay? So we're starting from the nose, and let me get your outer arch. Okay, very simple. Now your right or your left. From the nose, keep looking directly at me, directly at my nose, just focus. Okay, perfect. We're already done with your outer brow. Next, we're going to do the fronts from your outer nose up, or I apologize, from your inner nose up. Okay. Keep looking at my nose. You don't have to focus your eyes, but keep looking directly at me because I've already gotten that done. Okay, now the arch. Now I need you to look directly at me again. Okay. Alright, now here is the very, very most important part of this whole process, more than the tattooing, more than anything. I'm going to be measuring the height of your brows, which is basically the entire brow itself. I need you to stay absolutely still. Do not move for the life of you. Pretend that like the whole world was on fire, but you knew you could survive if you just stood still. So no pressure. Okay, look directly at me. See, we're already done with the right side. Now we're going on to the left. Okay, so now this part's a little bit weird. I'm going to hold this up to the brows to measure, and then I'm going to draw a unibrow on you, and then a triangle, and then 2 lines in between. So it's going to look like you have scribbles all over your face. And that is how mathematics works. Very simple, actually. Some people use protractors, special protractors that have these on the bottom of them. I don't necessarily need them, especially since you're doing the natural look, which is even more perfect for today. Excuse me. So let me just draw this straight line. It's very light. I'm not using a heavy hand on this. And that's why microblading doesn't really hurt either, is because it's very light. Okay, so now we're going to do the triangle, and how the triangle works is we're literally going to put the outside on the brow line that I drew, like so. Draw a line curved, draw a line, or slanted, and then up again, it'll match a triangle, and then the 2 lines from the front will go from your nose, okay? Okay, one's done, one's done. Set's dead, one's done. Okay. Let me just check that. Okay, perfect. Now all we have to do left is the 2 lines. It's very easy how this works. Alright, and the last thing I'm going to do is now just fill in the outline of the brow. It already has the lines, basically just need to fill it out. 1, curvature, 2, above, that's already filled in, and then outline, all done. Okay. All done. There you go. Was that so bad? No, I know. Alright, perfect. So now we are ready to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the hot towel ready. You're ready to be fully done. So I'm just going to wrap the hot towel around you to relax your pores, open them. The steam will go in the center, open all your pores up, and you'll be ready to go. I'm going to grab the ink, grab a sponge, grab my extremely expensive realistic tattoo gun. I didn't make it. Somebody sent it to me. Okay. I'm only going to need probably 2 or 3 of these, so. 2. 3. Okay. So let's get that hot towel. Oh yeah, and at the end I am going to spray you down with just a liquid bottle with a little bit of alcohol in it. The alcohol will take away any excess ink, all the marks that I made, everything in like one swipe. So I'm going to spray you down with this first after the blading is finished, and then I'm going to use this. And that's just going to, again, clean your face. Now, I don't need this brush, I don't think. I'm just going to... The only reason, like I said, to use it was to smear a line on the brows, so. But you're good, it looks like. So no worries, okay? Hot towel. Oof. Yikes. Yeah, it's very, very steamy. Okay, so I'm just gonna wrap this around your face now, okay? I know, it's going to be a little bit warm at first, but no way. Okay, and perfect. Okay. Next, oh yeah, the ink. Get it from our board here, right next to you. Okay, so at first glance, I want you to tell me what color this appears to you, and if it's something that would match yours, okay? Okay, the second one. Okay. Third one. close? Okay, then I know it. It's gonna be E369 or E365. This one. Brilliant. Now the color may appear a little bit purplish, if you will, when I open this, and yes, these are in blood vials, but the inks are homemade. That sounds even better. They're very safe and very sanitary. So I'm just gonna set up here. My whole area in front of me is very, very clean. Okay. Just gonna pour some ink in here. The cap that I'm gonna be using. Okay, that's all we needed. Okay, and this is what it looks like above. Excellent. All right, and I'm just going to, the ink here is already done for. You can't reuse it. It's unsafe, and is now considered quarantine. So we're just going to put this over here. Okay. Okay, so the ink's ready. Next, get our extremely expensive gun here. And it looks like we're ready to go. So do not be worried. This will take 3 to 5 minutes tops, okay? Okay. So I'm going to turn this on now. Okay. And then we're going to turn it to a higher setting that sounds like the thing that I used the other day. So let's bend this according to. I'm going to dip the tip of this in some ink, and we're ready to go. Dip, 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 dip. Okay, you ready? All right. Okay. Some more ink, and then I'm gonna wipe. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna wipe, and then I'm not gonna fill in a line up here. You don't want this to look like that, but I am gonna fill a very fine line on the bottom in the arch, okay? So let me just get my sponge here and like gently wipe. All right, so we're gonna continue now. You're almost done. I've gotten the hairs filled in, and then I'm gonna do the line, wipe again, and check for any leftover hairs that I missed, okay? Now I'm gonna do the line. Okay, this one looks done, so I'm going to spray it down with this. Okay, so let me put my gun down. Take a clean tissue. Now, the reason we use tissues rather than paper towels, like most tattoo shops, again, a real tattoo is permanently in there. It's deep down in there. It's an open wound. Microblading is a little bit like that, but the ink can still come out. So I'm going to place this over your left eye and spray down the brow, okay? new paper towel, just clean it up. Wow, that is gorgeous. I love it. Perfect. We did perfect today. Like, you could not look better. Like, no way. All right, so I'm gonna place this down here, and let's prep you for the next one. Okay, got my brush, got my gun. All right, you ready? Dip it in the ink here. Okay, a little bit more. Ready? And then I'm going to probably maybe go over both again, like I said, on a higher setting. It sounds exactly the way it does with the other one. The right one's always the hardest. It's like having breasts, because one's always bigger than the other, or balls, because one's always bigger than the other. Okay, let me grab a sponge here. Where did I put it? There we go. Yeah, see all that ink? Okay, almost done. Gonna do the outline again, the one on the bottom, and followed by the any leftovers. Okay, perfect. Let me see, wipe it down. Okay. Okay, so let's spray that. Okay, place this over your left eye now. Okay, other one, just wipe it down. Okay, so we have the basis done. You are completely finished with the microblading. I'm going to go over it again on a more deeper setting, but less ink, if that makes sense. Like, it's gonna sound louder like the time that I shaved, only this time it doesn't press the needle deep down in your skin. It just it's like a powder. Like, if you've ever used a brow pencil and then it came with a powder on the end that you just brush over the brow to fill in anything that was left over. Very natural, very nice. So, but first, this might hurt just a teeny weeny bit. I'm just gonna shave over the hairs around the brows that are completely finished, okay? Okay. Start with the right. Okay, and your left. Okay, so let's get with the thing again, and then after we're done, I'll take the towel off, clean you up, and you'll be ready to go, okay? Okay, so dip this in ink, okay, and turn it on, and you ready? Okay. Almost done. A little bit more ink. Just filling it in. Perfect. Okay, so you are finished. Let me just do the finishing spray, and then I'll take off the towel. Use a clean sponge. See how it takes off the ink? Nothing. It's practically invisible. So, all right, make sure you have this with you. Let me take the towel off once I move this over here. Okay. Okay. How did that feel? They look beautiful. The mirror's right over here if you want to check them out in a minute. But let me just spray this down so it cleans up. Makes you look like you didn't even cut. Ready? Okay. Perfect. All right. Well, your brows are absolutely stunning. I had a very enjoyable time working with you today, and I hope to see you back in 6 months if you just want to see the receptionist on the way out. Great. Well, it was nice meeting you. Here, give me a hug. I always give hugs. And I will see you next time, okay? They look beautiful. See you soon. Bye.